And good afternoon. Welcome to Today at the Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Tim Tulloch. And what we're going to get today and tomorrow in nice weather right now. The birds are chirping here by the historic Laurel Park paddock. It's going to be hot today, but it's not too bad today. And no rain, so that's good. And looks like we're going to get tomorrow in as well. We have the Stronach 5 tomorrow, but they have decided to cancel this Saturday and Sunday due to the extreme heat forecast for this weekend.
Absolutely the right move. Today's nice, a little bit of overcast, a breeze blowing through here. As long as the breeze keeps up and the little overcast is going to be just fine today, and the right move for Saturday, Sunday. We're expected to be very hot, but today's no problem, and we'll get to it.
All right, and tomorrow's big Stronach 5-day. Let's show you what's going on. There's the lineup of races. It'll start right here at Laurel Park. Race 8 tomorrow at about 4:54 Eastern Time. That's when the Stronach 5 starts with that guaranteed $100,000 pull and industry low, 12% takeout. And second leg of the Stronach 5 right here at Laurel Park. Then we go down to South Florida, legs C, D, and E at Gulfstream Park, races 8, 9, and 10. So there's the lineup of races for the Stronach 5. You can start studying those races now. We'll have tickets for you tomorrow after scratches and all that. So that's the Stronach 5 tomorrow. We have a couple handicapping tournaments going on here at the Maryland Jockey Club. Check this one out. The Maryland Jockey Club Handicapping Series year-long tournament. It's a free entry to this with a paid entry to any of the eligible tournaments. For more information about this, go down to guest services in the middle of our first floor clubhouse floor. We have one more board for this as well, right? Okay, there it is. Okay, the Maryland Jockey Club Handicap Series year-long tournament. I believe if you're entered in some of the other handicapping tournaments throughout the year, you're automatically entered in this year-long tournament. So go to guest services to learn more about the year-long tournament for the Maryland Jockey Club Handicapping Series.
Well, you know we're not going to race a Saturday and Sunday, but there's going to be great racing around the country. The coolest place in Maryland is right inside that grandstand with great places to enjoy the races. Simultaneously, we got Del Mar, we got Saratoga, we got cool places, great bars. Come out, stay cool, and enjoy the races from around the country on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and we'll get a lineup of, I'm imagining everything will be open, tips and tycoons and the sports book and the sports bar. All the premier bars here will be open for simulcasting this weekend.
I would think so. I don't know. I would think so, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be cool in there, and there'll be plenty of thirsty people that want to stay cool. Yep. So I'd have them all open.
All right, so you can root on the Mid-Atlantic connections up there at Saratoga. So we showed you the year-long tournaments going on here at the Maryland Jockey Club. We have a big one coming up in August. Well, as you look at the main track, which will be rated fast today, but the big Champions Handicapping Tournament, that's coming up in mid-August. Information about that on our website right now, laurelpark.com, to learn more about that Champions Handicapping Tournament in August. So there's a picture of the main track. We're off the turf today. Main track will be fast. We're in the 90s, partly sunny. First race post time is 1:10. The main track looks perfect today.
Good. We got a lot of rain last night, but they were able to work the race all night. Worked the track all night last night. A couple breaks during the morning where it got worked, and then after 10:30, it's been worked the rest of the time. So it's fast. They're going to be skipping over this racetrack today.
All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can give you some winning pick 5 or pick 4 or pick 6 tickets today. Race 1 will start the Rolling Super High 5. That's a low 15% takeout. We have it every race with 7 or more horses. Keep your eye on that Rolling Super High 5 throughout the day. Also, race 1 kicks off the very popular early pick 5, which is always a mandatory payout, and industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket for the early pick 5. Let's check it out. There it is. A difficult sequence. As you can tell by my ticket, I could not find a single on my early pick 5, so I go with a $48 ticket. I'm 4 deep here in race 1. Remember, we're off the turf, so you kind of have to go back and re-handicap all the turf races we had carded today. So I go 4 deep in race 1 with a 2, 8, 9, 10. Maybe I'll get a price here in the opener. Race 2, I go with the 10 and the 11. Race 3 was on the main track originally. Race 3, I like a 15-1 shot in there. The one Popeye's Oil for trainer Nancy Heil, a well-bred first-time starter by Flatter. She'll be a big price in race 3. The one Popeye's Oil. I go 1-3-7 in that race, and then I use the 3-6 in race 4, and then race 5. Where everything's off the turf. Race 5, I go with the 6 and the 8 there. So $48 ticket. You can study all of our tickets and picks and plays of the day on the laurelpark.com website underneath the handicapping section. Here we go, race 1. Maiden claiming $40,000 for 2-year-olds, originally carded on the turf. Now we're off the turf, 5.5 furlongs on the main track, and we both go the cold 8-10 exacta on top here. The 8 on the turf. Yeah, we liked him on the turf today. He's bred for the turf. He's by Imagining out of a Dixieland band mare, but he's run 2 big races on the main track and a very nice improvement in his second start. Jumped up to a nice, respectable 54 buyer last out when finishing second at this level late May. Had some nice work since then. Riaz back aboard today for John Salzman Jr.
And it would have been nice to see on the turf actually get to run on the grass today, but his last race, and he doesn't know the difference. He's never been on the grass, so he thinks he's coming back over here to do exactly what he did last time, and I think he can. That was a big race, as you mentioned, a big number. He only got beat a length and 3/4 for the whole thing. A couple good works since that last race, including a nice 5/8 of a mile on the 15th of June, 101 flat for John Salzman and Georgie Ruiz, who they've been having a nice little run here, about 18% over the last year and into this year. So that's been a decent combination. But on the turf, I think gets the job done on this surface here today and breaks his maiden.
All right, so we both have the 8 on top, the 10 Promising Pistol. Victor Carrasco, the regular rider for this colt by Flat Out for Claudio Gonzalez, and he's run 3 big races against Maiden 25,000 company here at Laurel. A little bit of a step up today, but he's in good form, and he's trying to carry that good form against tougher company today.
Yeah, with it coming off the turf, you know, these races are a little bit softer, but they're young horses, so there's probably not a whole lot of difference. I guess we'll call it a little bit of step up, but he does have some good races. As you mentioned, his last race was his lifetime best. He only got beat a length and a half here at Laurel behind Tommy Shelby, and Victor Carrasco gets the call back on Promising Pistol. A little wide in his last start, maybe a little bit better trip here today, although he's breaking from the outside, but maybe he can stay a touch closer, going 5.5 furlongs today, and maybe get a little bit better trip. He's gone 5/8 his last 3 starts, so a little closer might serve him well. Breaking from the outside, Victor, well, if he gets away well, and Victor can make any decision he wants from out there.
All right, so 8-10 we have on top. We both like the 9 as well. Get there. John had to break from the 1 hole in his debut. Now this colt by Algorithms gets a much better outside post in his second start. He gets a good ride in Bug Boy. Avery Wisman been winning some races here this summer meet. And this horse ran okay in debut. Decent third at this level. Now much better post today for the 9.
Yeah, better post today for the 9. A couple good works since that last race, including a gate work on the 6th of July. Always important when you have a young horse that comes off this long of a layoff and has only made 1 start, to get a gate work in there to make sure that they remember what's going on and remember the game. And a good sharp break is always important. Avery Wisman has been riding quite well here of late.
All right, now then we like a couple first-time starters. I'll use the 2, really, Felix by Seville. Some nice works up there at Fair Hill. A nice 5 furlong workout from the gate late June up there at Fair Hill. A nice bullet workout recently going 3 furlongs. He attracts Vargas to ride. Lasix in debut for Mark Schumann. So I'll use the 2, really, Felix, and you also like the 1, Audacious Quality.
Yeah, it came down to these 2 who I was going to round out my picks with, and I ended up going with Audacious Quality by Elusive Quality out of a Not For Love mare for Phil Schoenthal, who will up and win these type of races when you're not expecting it. Coming in here with some okay works on the main track. You see a work on the turf, his latest work, but a 48 and change gate work early at late May. That's important. Going to have to break from the rail, so the break is all important. Victor Rosales, Phil Schoenthal is basically a stable rider, gets the call here, and a little bit light, 12-1 on the line.
All right, so we both have an 8-10 on top here in race 1. Let's turn the page. The early pick 4 starts In race 2, you have an early pick 4 ticket. Let's check it out, see how you played it.
I do, and just like you, I couldn't find a single on my early pick 4 or my rainbow pick 6. So in the second, I go 3 deep using the 1, 10, and 11. The third, 3, 4, 5. In the fourth and fifth, I use 2 in each of those. The 3 and the 6. And the 6 and the 7, $18 ticket. Good luck if you play along in the early pick 4. If you feel like you need to spread a little bit more in a couple of these races, you want to spend a little bit more money, I would suggest it. But that's my ticket, a nice affordable $18.
All right, here we go. Race 2 off the turf, going a flat mile, 25,000 starter allowance company, 3 and up. Never won 3 is the condition. I go with the 11 on top. Okay, 11-10 for me. 10-11 for you. We like the same 4 here, just with our top 2 flip flop. The 11 Rage Away though ran big last out. Won a 16,000 2 life going long at Churchill June 20th. Was claimed that day by trainer Claudio Gonzalez, who's 24% first off the claim. Finds a nice starter allowance condition for him today. A big 68 buyer with that win last out. That puts him right there against this group today. He gets 7 pounds off with the apprentice Victor Rosales. Nice light weight assignment, 110 here for the 11 Rage Away.
Well, this might have been the best thing that happened to Claudio Gonzalez today. This race coming off the turf. His last 3 races have been on the main track. They've all been good, strong efforts with good, strong buyer speed figures, basically coming back in at the same level. 3 lifetime for 25,000, coming out of a 2 lifetime for 16. But 2 races back, this horse ran in a 2 lifetime for 30 and didn't run that badly. Only got beat 5.5 lengths at Churchill Downs. The Kentucky horses coming out of Churchill Downs especially, have been coming up here and running pretty well. So I expect this one to do the same for Claudio Gonzalez. One local work here for Claudio, a half in 48 and change. Victor Rosales, who's been slowly picking up some mounts for Claudio. Has been getting on horses for Claudio on a more consistent level in the morning. Gets the mount. He's won 3 for him, 67. He's only ridden 3, but 67%. So this could be a combination that we need to watch a little bit. Rosales, Gonzalez.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I have the 11 on top. The 10 Revolutionary Road ran a real big second at this level, 2 back. That was against the 2 life level. This is a 3 life condition.
3 life,
yeah,
yep.
All right. So a real big effort 2 starts ago against 2 life company going a mile. Big second that day with a 74 buyer. And then got the win against 2 life company last out going 6.5.
Well, this horse is in really, really good form. Throw out the turf race and the 1 race in the mud. His form going back until the beginning of the year has been very, very good. 2 back, he ran a lifetime best going today's distance of a mile at this level. And it comes back and wins going 3/4 of a mile or 6.5 furlongs in his last, just getting up. I think this horse is set up to run yet another big race for Bob Vukovic. Rosario Montanez returns. I've got Revolutionary Road on top. And I like both these horses. It'd probably go either way. I just landed on Revolutionary Road, who's in really, really good form.
All right, and then the 1 Rule Yourself for trainer Trez Abbott. Forest Boys will ride. This 5-year-old ran a real big second here at Laurel last February, going a mile against Maryland Bred Allowance Company. He's been on the turf recently, and he's in good form. His last 3 have been very good. His lifetime 3 best races recently on the turf. Now back to the main track, and he has some decent races on the main track.
Well, that's the thing. The horse is in good form right now, even though he's been running on the turf, and he's got some decent dirt races this past winter. So the combination of being good form and the fact that it looks like he doesn't despise being on the dirt makes him a logical horse to have on your ticket for Trez Abbott and Forest Boys.
And the 2 on the tap it now is entered main track only for this race by trainer Damon Dildovico, and he had a nice win going a mile back in March. That was his 2nd win in a row against Open 25,000 company, straight 3-year-old company. His last couple against older horses haven't been very good. He ran better last out, ran a decent race last out. He likes to go to the front. He's just he's got to finish better today than he has his last couple.
I thought it was a pretty decent effort in his last race. Now he gets a race that's coming off the turf instead of being originally scheduled on the dirt. There should be a little bit softer spot for him, whether it's soft enough for him to get the job done. But he's got a good draw with that speed under Johan Rosado. And again, this is another horse that back on his form, as you mentioned, that race from last March and another race sprinting in April. Those races on the main track are good enough if he can run back to those races. A decent race in his last, in probably what was a tougher race behind Vouch and My Good Man. So I think he moves up a little bit today, and it very well might be enough for Damon Delvico.
All right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 2. Let's turn the page here. Race 3 kicks off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. A little carryover today, a little over 1,500 for that Rainbow Pick 6. We're trying to build it back up. We had a big $86,000 score what was it, a couple weekends ago.
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday they took it down. So we're starting new with the Pick 6. You have a ticket today. Let's check it out, see how you played it.
Again, no singles on my Pick 6. If you want to go a little deeper, go ahead. 3 deep here in the third, 3, 4, 5 in the fourth, 3, 6. The fifth is 6, 7. In the sixth, I go 2, 8. The seventh was a head scratcher for me. This is a race I spread on 1, 2, 5, 7, and in the eighth, 3, 8, 9. Remember, Rainbow Pick 6 gets started in a race 3 today, race 3 for the Rainbow Pick 6. $57.60 ticket.
All right, let's take a look at the third. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track, originally carded on the main track. Maiden claiming $40,000 for filly mares 3 and up, and I go with my price play of the day here, the 1 Popeyes Oil. This is a well-bred filly here. She's by Flatter. That's a Major League sire down there in Kentucky out of a Forest Wildcat mare bred by Dark Hollow Farm here in Maryland. These connections paid $70,000 for this filly as a yearling at Timonium. So I'll take a shot on this well-bred filly. You're going to get a nice price because a small outfit here doesn't run too many horses. Not the best inside post. I don't like the one hole at all here for Popeye's Oil, but the works here at Laurel Park, they've been okay. Couple nice works from the gate. A couple decent 5 furlong workouts and a blowout 3 furlong workout recently. 7 pounds off with Felix Pinero, 113 the weight, Lasix on in debut. I'll take a shot here with this filly. You're going to get a nice price on the 1 Popeye's Oil by Flatter.
Well, this is a race I'm looking forward to probably the most today. This maiden race right here, the third race. Yeah, you're definitely going to get a good price. You've got some guys in here and some horses in here that are pretty well bred, that are very, very good with their young horses. But look, they gave a pretty good shot for this horse. 70,000, been working okay. A decent gate work on the 1st of June, and looks like it's got enough speed. July 13th, the 3/8 and 36 flat. Gets the bug boy, gets in light, debuting with Lasix, but there's probably a lot working against her. The inside draw and some tough. I think there's some tough customers in here as far as preparation and horses and breeding.
There are. Let's take a look at the favorite here. The 3 Friend Me Charlie, 8-5 morning line. Favorite here, a homebred for Hillwood Stable and Rodney Jenkins. They went to their stallion bandbox, and the bandbox, they've been coming out running. We have a stat here. Check out that stat there for bandbox, Tim.
Yeah, right. Friend Me Charlie by bandbox. Bandbox 4 for 22, 18%. And 9 for 22 in the money with his first-time starters with a median win price of $14.90. And we've been seeing these band boxes running really quite well here in Maryland. I think this is another one who comes in here with some monster works. And this one's out of a mare named Access to Charlie, who's by Indian Charlie. She's a multiple stakes winner of $260,000. She was a runner, and he looks like he's a bit of a runner too. Some nice half miles, but how about that 5/8 on the 5th of July? 59-3, handily over a racetrack that was rated good. I think Friend Me Charlie, Rodney Jenkins, Victor Carrasco, and Hillwood Stable. I think this one's in a good shot and had a great draw down toward the inside, but gets to break in between horses, which is always important. When I was training, that a first-time starter gets to break in between horses, gives them a little bit more direction. They might go right or left, but they probably get squeezed in a little bit and forced to stay straight.
All right, I like him. He's well-bred, well-prepared for top connections. He'll take a bunch of play. The 3, Friend Me Charlie, going to be a popular favorite here in race 3. Let's take a look at a few others. The 7, I use in my top 3. More Better, second off the layoff today for trainer Jason Egan. You get the bug boy Julio Correa, who's been doing well. And this horse ran okay coming back off over a year layoff. Ran okay and has every right to run a little bit better today.
Has every right to run a little bit better today, coming back in a month, so has had plenty of time, but no works. They didn't work this horse back at all in the 4 weeks she's had since she ran. So that's a little bit of a question mark for me, coming off such a long layoff and then not seeing a work. But picks up the Julio Correa, who's been riding quite well, and ran behind Roxdale Girl and Misguided. I like Misguided later today or tomorrow. I can't remember this running together. But look, in with a shot, no question about it. Before the layoff, this filly was showing some good races with some decent numbers. If she can run back to those before the layoff races, that puts her right in the hunt. Her last race, even though there's some first-time starters in here, I'm not sure is going to be good enough.
All right, you have the 4. I didn't use the 4. Gentle Thoughts, a Bodemeister first-time starter for trainer Brittany Russell, and he gets Julian Pimentel here. But the Brittany Russell barn having a nice summer meet.
Yeah, having a very, very nice summer meet, and pretty good with her first-time starters, hitting at 18%, coming in with some decent work. She's out of an unraced mare who was by Curlin, so there's some blood there, but a nice work on the 29th of July from the gate, 49-2, and then followed that up with a good half from the pole on July 5th. So I said threw Gentle Thoughts in there. Julian Pimentel gets the call on Gentle Thoughts for Brittany Russell, and she rides an occasional horse here and there, and our man Mr. Russell has to sit out a couple days, so we won't see him until next week.
All right, so the top connections there on the 4, Gentle Thoughts, some nice work. So you also used the 5, the Timmy Keefe first-time starter, filly by Jumpstart, who shows up with a full work tab here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, a full work tab only because she's just had a couple breaks in her work tab. She worked February 15th, and then didn't work again until the 31st of March, and then another little break from the end of April to the middle of May, but still working pretty well. I don't think this is the toughest group. Take out if Friend Me Charlie runs like I think he might. After that, I don't think it's the toughest group. It's probably a good spot for this filly by Jumpstart, and picks up Fergal Lynch.
All right, so we'll have a heavy favorite likely here in race 3, Friend Me Charlie, to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Do you key on this first-time starter, or do you try to maybe beat her in the first leg of the Pick 6?
Yeah, I didn't. I still went 3 deep here. I'm not that confident. First-time starter, there's just so many factors. I do think he's the horse to beat, though.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. I like the late Pick 5. That starts in race 4. We'll check it out right after this.
Join us for Jim McKay Maryland Million Day on Saturday, October 19th at Laurel Park. Come with friends and family to Maryland's Day at the Races, a celebration of Maryland's horses and lots of fun for all ages. Enjoy a full day of racing, including on-track entertainment between races. Don't miss the hat contest, 3 categories and wonderful prizes. It'll be fun for all at Laurel Park, Saturday, October 19th. For more information, visit MarylandMillion.com or LaurelPark.com.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at today's late Pick 5. No carryover today. They hit it last Sunday for a real big number. I mean, I was like, I want to say 8,900. It was a big number in the late Pick 5 last Sunday. So we'll start fresh today. As always, that industry low 12% takeout and all the Pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Let's check out my ticket, $32 ticket. I couldn't find a single either on my late Pick 5 with it being off the turf. I couldn't find a solid single, so I go 4 deep here in race 4. I like the 3, 4, and the 6, 7. The 3 and the 4 going to be and the 6 are going to be your favorites. Maybe I'll get lucky, get a price home here like the 7, Inyo. first-time starter for Dove Houghton in race 4. Then I go 6-8 in the 5th, 2-8 in race 6, 5-7 in race 7, and then race 8's a nice starter allowance, 5/8 on the main track. The 3, Baron of Bluegrass, looks tough in there, but I also use Trevor McCarthy on the 8 Spicy Meatball, first off the claim today for trainer Kieran McGee. So there's my ticket. You can study all of our tickets and our picks of the day on the laurelpark.com website underneath the handicapping section. Here we go with race 4, going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming 40,000 filly mares 3 and up. And let's see, we both, I go with the 6, Judy Blue Eyes on top. You like this filly as well, a 3-year-old daughter of Cal Nation. She's out of the dam, Sassy Love, who was a stakes winner. I like this filly in her debut. She went off at 15-1. Let's show you the video spotlight of Judy Blue Eyes in her debut. There she is, about mid-pack, turning for home in the green and yellow colors of Dr. Michael Harrison, president of the Maryland Horse Breeders. And here she comes. She's number 7. She's going to get in a little trouble coming up right about somewhere, right about here.
Right
Judy,
about here.
yeah, gets stopped right
there.
there.
There you go.
Trevor McKay, he ducks down to the inside, and she ends up getting up for a real good second. Just got beat a neck in debut, so that was an eventful, educational debut for Judy Blue Eyes. Now we're on the main track today, and I think she'll be just as good on the main track. McCarthy back aboard for Ann.
Well, just as good. Judy Blue Eyes is eligible to get better on the main track. She's by Cal Nation. Who's by Distorted Humor? Okay, out of Valley Crossing mare. That doesn't bleed turf, and this filly ran a good race on the grass. I think she gets better on the main track. A little bit better trip will certainly help. So I like Judy Blue Eyes. I was back and forth between Judy Blue Eyes and Misguided. I ended up landing on Misguided, but she ran a big number that day. She ran a 62 by her speed figure in her debut, and that is a big number. Gets an outside draw probably at the end of the day. A little bit less traffic. All those horses are running at the end in those turf races, so a better trip is probably just going to happen no matter what for this 3-year-old filly by Cal Nation. But I like this filly on the main track today, and if she ends up winning, it would not surprise me at all.
All right, so I have the 6 on top. The 3 Misguided is going to be tough. You're getting 7 pounds off from the 6 Judy Blue Eyes. 113 the weight assignment here for this Spitestown filly for Phil Schoenthal with Victor Rosales up.
I like this filly today. First of all, she's not run a bad race. A 2 back in the mud before she went on that little bit of vacation. Yes, maybe, but she came back running. She only got beat 3/4 the length, a well-running second in her last race, and ran a good, solid number. I expect her to move forward off of that last race on June 16th, has had a work since then for Phil Schoenthal, and Victor Rosales returns on Misguided, and she's out of that nice mare, Misbehavior, and that mare was a runner. And I just think it's taking this filly just a little time to put things together. Has to break from the rail today, not totally in love with that, but I think she'll be able to, if she gets away well, she got to the lead last time, she might be able to get to the front again today.
All right, so we both have a 6-3, 3-6 on top. We also like the 4 Old Line Magic, a filly by Street Magician. She's run 3 big races on the turf. Really can't knock her effort so far. She's very consistent. Rosario Montanez back aboard today for Dorothy Wharton. A couple good efforts at this level recently on the turf. Now she gets to try the main track for the first time.
And that's the only reason I kind of used her. You used her also. Is she's in good form, and I think her form will carry over enough on the turf that you have to use her somewhere. Is she going to be good enough to win? I don't know. She might be. She certainly is a runner. She tries every time. Her worst race of her career, she only got beat, her 3 race careers, she only got beat 4 lengths while running 4th. The other 2 races, she ran 2nd. So she's in good form, and she might just be fine on the main track.
All right, so we both like a 3-6-4 on top there in race 4. Let's turn the page here. Race 5. We'll kick off the late pick 4 today. It's a nice maiden special weight off the turf, 5.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward. And we both have the 6 on top here. Lost in Limbo for trainer Tom Proctor. Proctor was a little slow this year before the summer meet, but he's rolling, rocking and rolling this summer here at Laurel Park. 33% wins. He's a 4 wins, some 12 starts, and overall he's 8 for 12 in the money. And this horse beaten favored last out against Maiden Special Weight, but a decent third that day. That was her first. That was his first start here at Laurel Park. Weston Hamilton aboard today for Tom Proctor. We both have Lost in Limbo on top here.
Yeah, you tossed his first race last March on a track that was labeled muddy at the fairgrounds, and this guy, 3-year-old Gelding, has shown up every time. First time for Proctor in his last start was a big, solid race. But how about the race before at Oak Lawn Park? Got beat 3 lengths while running 4th in a maiden special rate on a fast track going 6 furlongs. He fired a 77 Beyer speed figure. If he runs back anything close to that, that puts him right in the winner's circle for a very, very hot barn right now. And Tom Proctor, Weston Hamilton gets the call. A few good works up there at Fair Hill since that race on June 15th. So I like Lost in Limbo here. You like Lost in Limbo here. I was this close to singling this horse, but there's still a couple other horses in here that are okay. They're not bad. So I couldn't do it, but I do like Lost in Limbo.
All right, we both like the 8 here. Blessed Arian beat Lost in Limbo last out. But I'm going with the connections of the 6 Lost in Limbo over the connections of the 8 Blessed Arian. But nonetheless, the horse ran a big race last out.
Oh, the horse hasn't run a bad race in 3 career starts. Not a single bad race. That was a good race in his last start. Ran a lifetime best number and has just improved with every start. This horse has ascending numbers from his first start to his latest start. So if he continues on this path, he's up for another big race. He looks like he tries for Amanda Rawlings. Mr. Latchman gets the call back, 7-2 on the line, and you're probably going to get a pretty decent price on this horse. A horse that isn't too far out in figuring and getting the job done.
Yep. All right, the 7 out of the park. We both like. You have the horse in your exact. I pick him third. Now, I know we're off the turf today, but let's show you this horse's last race. Why? Because it was coming off a long layoff, and he runs a lifetime best 72 Beyer speed figure this day.
Yeah, not only that, but even though it's off the turf, this horse has run pretty well on the main track in previous starts. Here you see him on the grass. He's going to get out here from the rail and come running and only get beat a half a length in the end. The horse is in good form, comes back to the dirt. I like these horses. I don't mind when they go back from the turf to the dirt. He's only run on the turf this one time. He tries hard all the way down to the wire. And he had a little bit of traffic problems. He had to get out there before he got in the clear. I don't think that's going to be the case today. A little bit smaller field. As I mentioned, he's got some positive races on the main track, and he's in good form right now. So I'm going to keep out of the park. I had him originally on top on the grass. Then when it came off the grass, I made some adjustments, but I still like him. I think he can maybe run back to that turf race on June 28th.
All right, so 6, 7, 8 all day long there on top in race 5. Let's keep going here. Race 6 will kick off the final pick 3 of the day off the turf. 5 furlongs. We're going 5 furlongs here in race 3. Filly and Mare, 25,000 starter allowance. Never won 2 is the condition. We both end up on the 2 Wildcattin'. Looks like this filly by Super 99 for trainer Tim Shaw. Big second at Parks 2 starts ago against Maiden 40. Was in front turning for home that day, and then got a little tired and finished second. I was going 6 furlongs. A big win last out with a lifetime best 65 Beyer last out when this filly won by almost 4 lengths, going 5.5 on the turf. So she's in good form right now for trainer Tim Shaw. Joan Rosado will rise. She's just have to break. The 1 is scratched. The 1 Tai Chi is scratched. So the 2 Wildcattin' is going to have to break sharp and try to use that early speed to get a good, maybe get to the front or just be close up early on. You don't want to be too far back, breaking from the inside, going 5 furlongs.
No, you certainly don't. And she, 2 starts back at Park, she did stumble on out of the gate and still had a good race that day. Clearly a big race on the grass. The break is going to be important. She can't afford to stumble. She's going to have to get away. But this is another horse, just like out of the park in the previous race, who's in pretty good form. Coming off a lifetime best race, first time on the grass, comes back to the dirt. I don't think it's really going to be a big issue for her to come back on the dirt. She hasn't been like the other one out of the park. Hasn't been running on the turf long enough to get real comfortable with it and get any real preference in their mind about it. So coming back on the dirt, a good break is going to be important. But I think she can get it done here under Johan Rosado.
All right, so we both have the 2 on top. I also use the 8 on my late pick 5. It's a Shalding, making her first start now in the Claudio Gonzalez barn. He's 25% with that move. Kevin Gomez will ride this filly. She had a wire-to-wire win, 2 back, maiden 20 at Belmont late May. That's the bottom up there at New York. And then got tired last out, going 5.5, finished third. Got beat almost 8 lengths. So she only has to go 5 furlongs today. She's going to show speed on the outside, and she's going to give Wildcat and so some work to do early on here.
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say. The maiden 20 at Belmont Park didn't run a great number. Got away with a 23 flat opening quarter. That's not going to happen here today. They're going to be running a bit faster. With all that said, the maiden 20 at Belmont Park is still at Belmont Park. You're going to run into some horses that are okay. Clearly, they're not great. She ran and won and only ran a 49 by her speed figure. However, it is first time Claudio Gonzalez, and first time with Claudio. He hits about 25%. So to leave It's a Shaw thing, the 8, off your ticket in any way is probably foolish at the end of the day. Use this horse. This horse could show up.
All right, so how about 2-8 all day long there in race 6? We have a video to show you here. Race 7 is going to kick off the late daily double. We're going a flat mile, claiming 5,000, 3 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months. Never won 4 is the condition. I have the 7 on top. Let's start right there with City Gold. Let's show you the race from June 1st right here at Laurel Park. This was against, here's the start for City Gold. Didn't break very well at the start. This was against Nickel 4 Life Company this day. Doesn't get the best break there from the 8 hole, but now you're going to see City Gold sitting third, turning for home here, and ends up running a real big race for Lacey Gaudette this day with the Bug Correa aboard. He's going to finish second, just gets beat a nose, gets a big 69 Beyer speed figure this day. So this was June 1st. Now the horse has been off almost a couple months now. One little maintenance half-mile work July 7th here at Laurel Park, but you're getting some weight off with Correa, who's back aboard. This is a real strong race for City Gold last out. City Gold, good form going a mile, and very good form right here at Laurel Park.
Well, that was a big race because after stumbling out of the gate, he wasn't rushed up per se, but he was asked to go up there, probably used a little bit more than he would have had to use if he'd gotten away cleanly that particular day. Correa returns. When you look at the horse's form, he likes to run toward the front. Most of the time he's on the lead recently. Couldn't get to the lead that day. But Correa did the right thing that day. He chased it, got him up there to get into position, but that was it. And then tried to salvage the rest, and he ended up getting beat a nose. I expect this horse to move forward. It is a concern, and there's no doubt about it. Now we're going on close to 7 weeks since this horse has run, and only shows that one work on the 7th of July. That was a very lukewarm half and 50. So that's the question. Are we going to be fit enough to come off that 7-week layoff with that one work showing? But a better trip from the outside certainly would help.
All right, so the 7 City Gold I have on top. You have the 2 on top, Frida Trump, a Freedom Child, 4-year-old for Claudio Gonzalez with the Bug, Victor Rosales aboard.
Sure, the last 2 times this horse has run the one-turn mile at Laurel Park is 2 of his last 4 starts, and they're the 2 best races of his career. 2 back, a nice third-place finish, beating 2.5 lengths behind Gotham News. Gotham News would come back to win, and 2 before that, he got the job done and absolutely galloped, won by 4.5 lengths. He beat Moneymeister. Moneymeister came back and won, so he likes it here at Laurel Park. He likes running this one-turn mile. You're getting Victor Rosales for Claudio Gonzalez. We talked about that combination earlier. That could become a hot combination, and so far it's been pretty successful. So, yeah, I've got Frida Trump with Gonzalez and Rosales on top here in the 7th.
All right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 7. Let's get right to the 8th and final race. We're going 5 furlongs on the main track here in race 8. 25,000 starter allowance, 3 and up, never won 2 lifetime. And I go with the 3 on top here. Baron of Bluegrass was entered main track only for this race by trainer Jose Corrales. Victor Rosales will ride. This horse had a nice big score. First off the claim for Jose against Maiden 40,000. Won by 4 that day at Pimlico. Late May going 6 furlongs. A big effort last out on the turf. This horse has some early speed. He went 44-4 sprinting on the turf last out. We'll see how fast he is today on the main track, but I think he goes right to the front and tries to wire the field here. The 3, Baron of Bluegrass, my top pick.
Well, there's no question he's going to try to pop out of there and go under Victor Rosales. And 2 back was a big race on the main track, going 3/4 of a mile. And another horse who's in pretty good form coming out of that turf race. And, in fact, has been good form since being claimed by Jose Corrales. You know, Jose Corrales can get the job done in these types of spots. I use them. I don't use them on top. A couple others I just like a little bit better.
All right, let's take a look at your top pick. Spicy Meatball, make the rider Trevor McCarthy. Trevor McCarthy now on the 8, Spicy Meatball. The weight's going to be 117.
Yeah, coming in from Arlington Park, hasn't run since the 11th of May, but has been working up there at Pimlico Race Course for Kieran McGee. First off the claim, Kieran's pretty good, 22%. And this horse ran a big number in a nice race while breaking his maiden for the maiden 20. Now, that was on the synthetic at Arlington Park, but he shows a good race on the main track at Hawthorne in early April. Comes back in what I think is a pretty decent spot, 2 for 25 for a conditioner who knows how to get it done. Picks up Trevor McCarthy. That's never a bad thing, so I'm going with Spicy Meatball on top.
All right, so you have him on top. I use him in my exacta. We both like a 3-4-8 there in race 8. That's it. We're out of time off the turf today, so you have to do some re-handicapping. Main track looks perfect, though. Fast main track today, and it's a lovely day right now for some reason.
It's perfect. Partly sunny. There's a nice breeze. No worries today. We're going to get through this. No problem.
All right, good luck. Dave Rodman coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.